Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to my Swellcast, 5 Minutes of Authenticity with Preetha. And as you know, this month of June, we are focusing on control. The first episode, we looked at the locus of control, and in the second, we talked about the circles of control where we have direct, indirect, or no influence at all. I want to spend some time on this episode in discussing things that we really face, the struggle and the emotional weight of feeling helpless when things are truly beyond our control. It is very important, I think, if we are true to our authentic selves, that we acknowledge this. You know, this lack of control or this feeling of helplessness can very often come from situations that are obviously outside of our purview, of our area of influence, but the impact that it has on us is very real. It is very harsh, and it is very, it's very overwhelming, and it is very sad. It can come from the pressure that social media creates on us, on where we go on a vacation, or how we look, what we wear, our weight, our physical appearance. And it can be the stories we hear, society, the value systems that are imposed on society, the perceptions that are placed on, say, a woman who chooses to not marry, or chooses to marry but not have a child, or chooses to leave a marriage, or, for a man who decides to stay home and let his wife pursue a career. There are perceptions that society places on us. And once we become victim of those perceptions and all of those expectations that society has of us in various ways, those become a huge emotional weight, and they become the reasons where we start to feel uncertain about ourselves, our own will. We start to feel fear of feeling a loss of control. And some of the circumstances are truly outside. And what if you had a child or a family member who was suicidal? And the fact that you had to face that ever so often, the fear or the uncertainty to live with it is not easy. One cannot deny that. One cannot read books and say it's going to be okay. But what happens, though, is interesting, is, whether you are facing rejection because of a social media post, or you are facing fear or uncertainty because of the ill health of an individual in your home or your own situation, there are stress responses that happen because our brain's fear center, our amygdala, the reptilian brain, the fear center kicks in, leading to stress responses. And because of stress, it leads to a spike in our cortisol levels. And cortisol spikes lead to fuels that fear, that anxiety, that panic. I know for me personally, if I am very stressed, I have a mild case of vertigo. And so I know what is going on, and I know there are situations and circumstances that are not in my control. And the only thing I can do at that time is to tell myself and change the narrative, right? We talked about mindset a while ago, and just to say that, I have no control. I can still choose my response. And I think Dr. Frankl said it famously when he said, when we are no longer able to change a situation, we are challenged to change ourselves. That new narrative we tell ourselves can happen through very small actions, finding an intentional way to breathe, moving our body in a healthy manner, reaching out to a friend, shifting your perspective. Those are very small ways where we can shift from a place of helplessness to a place of acceptance and control.